And now everybody, the person that we've been benefiting, the person that we've been helping, the person that we love, that we adore, that we want to see more hecking dang horror speedruns from, it's going to be LinearC. And if you want to go ahead and officially take it away to close out your wonderful mutual aid event.
Thank you so much, PT. I put something together for everyone, and sorry, a little bit of like my anxiety is getting to me, but anyway, so I'll go ahead and start. It's a little bit long-winded, but please have patience with me. So I've been thinking and going through my head for a few days or so, wondering what to say, and there's so much to say, but I don't think I could ever put it in words. But just bear with me a little bit as I try my best to put together even an ounce of what I'm feeling. And if I go silent or tear up, just give me a moment to catch myself because it's been a really emotional time. I wanted to explain just what this community means to me by opening up a bit about my life. So I kind of created kind of like this letter to share. And as I said, it might be a little bit long-winded, but I promise I won't keep you here forever. And you're probably wondering what's the point, but I promise you there's a reason for my explanation. So when I was a bit younger, actually my 20s, through some unfortunate events, I ended up homeless and visa-less in Tokyo, Japan, of all places. And my mom was my cheerleader and the only one that cared about me and my well-being, basically. She wasn't able to support me financially, y'all, but she could support me in so many other ways with her words, her love, and encouragement. It was more than enough for me. And she was the only one who called me, even sometimes, even when she couldn't figure out how to use technology like Skype or using the international phone call cards. And my mom told me that in her heart, she believed my brother, who was, despite us growing up pretty poor and had done really well for himself financially, would help. And I remember that particular day, that phone call, because I was in central Tokyo, staying outside the 7-Eleven next to the train station, and I was freezing as I lost all my belongings. I only had one long sleeve shirt, and I had one pair of jeans. And I had a backpack full of things that I could fit in there easily, but I couldn't take anything too heavy because I was always moving around. The shoes had come apart, and I was using super glue to hold them together. And on the phone call that day, I don't even know if he knows I was there because he didn't really let me get a word in. And he said some really, really mean things that I would never want to repeat. And he told me it was my fault and he wouldn't give a penny. And I remember listening to my mom cry on the phone and it broke my heart. As he said this, she said to him that we're family, and she told him how much she had done for him to help make him successful. He had literally used his own success to put his friend and my sister through school. And he said to her that it was his money, his family, and his choice. I listened to him hang up, and she told me she was so sorry, but she hoped one day that he would change and at least try to forgive him somehow, some way. And she said something that stuck with me forever that day. It's really important because later on then I found this community. But she told me to try to be kind and do the right thing no matter what. Because what you put out there has a way coming back to you. And don't give up because there's good people out there and they don't have to necessarily be your family. And this is why I felt so important to share this story with y'all because these words became so true for me recently. But at that time, all I felt was pain, disappointment, and my own resentment. And then she told me she had sold some of her last items so she could get some money off of it and transfer it to my bank account, which would be enough money for me to stay in an internet cafe for a couple more days until we could figure things out. And let me tell you, at that time, the exchange rate was not my friend. A little time later, I was there in Japan. She passed away And the only way I found out she had stopped calling me. The last words we spoke before it happened was that she left me, and that when this was all over, we would laugh about this, and she would see me on a plane and hug me. So I need to stop crying, and I need to think about that moment when we would reunite. But as you can guess, that day never came. You see, a typical day for me, well, I could till I found a temporary reliable shelter would be that I would sit in these Japanese McDonald's and Mr. Donuts, buy a cup of coffee with free refills, and sit there all day waiting for that hope, some sort of hope. And then I just couldn't get through to her anymore. My cousin wrote me on Facebook and told me that she was gone, and I didn't want to believe them. But when I called the hospital that said that she was at, they told me they couldn't connect to her, advised me to reach out to relatives. And I just knew she was gone because she would never abandon me unless something horrible had happened. And my brother still refused to give me legal help despite being a lawyer and engineer himself. And a flight back for me to go back to America to say goodbye to her. He said that I appreciate one day that he didn't just give me a handout. And when I finally did get home to America, I came home with nothing, and my best friend was gone. My room was gone. And they had already started to drop some of her things. And I had to start over again and find somewhere to go. Even to this day, my brother refuses to acknowledge that he did me wrong. And his words hurt deep, and I lost faith in myself and felt undeserving of the good of my life. And 10 years later, I still don't know what lesson I was supposed to learn that he said that he wanted to teach. But shortly after returning to America, I had my son Cancun, and from the moment I saw him, I fell in love. He was born just a few days shy of the first anniversary of her death. And she never met him, but I know she would have loved him. He helped fill in some of those pieces of the pain. He made each passing day without her a little less painful, and I took it as a gift to me so I wouldn't have to cry so much anymore. But I had a partner who didn't treat us so well, to say the least. But coming home to America with nothing, I felt like I didn't have a choice as I had no one or nothing to help. So to me, the easiest option was just to take whatever I could get because according to them, I mean, who else would want me? But Ken was my love. He is my love, my best friend, my everything. Which continues to give me hope to keep pushing anyway. So with so much since the chaos, as I or was mentioned during the event, I started watching GDQ. And it was so nostalgic for me as I tried to find things that made me happy again. I loved video games growing up because they were an escape from me dealing with the bad things in my life. And it was something I hadn't done for a while when I was overseas. Watching the hype and joy combining two things I love, which included video games and helping people, was like nothing I could explain. Seeing people come together to help cause, bonding over something so cool, easier to help others less fortunate, really inspired me. I felt I was let down by my own family, but this community showed me how strangers connect and form a bond just as deep. And before I knew it, I became brave enough to become involved in the community. I knew I wanted to be part of this and raise money to help others who had never experienced the pain that I did. I wanted to give back. I wanted to give back what my mom tried to teach me and get the same what she tried to give me. I wanted to help uplift and treat others well no matter what. The feeling I got being part of a group accepted me for who I was and not what I could not or do or not do made me feel so amazing. I could be my genuine self, and this meant accepting me at my worst. I was used to a family who drew me away for not agreeing with them, and I never felt that being involved in these communities whatsoever. Instead, I found the utmost respect, understanding, and helped me realize that we could still care for each other, even if we didn't see eye to eye. As I got more involved in the community, unfortunately, My life spiraled a bit out of control in a short period of time. I lost my main job, income, savings, and every lifeline I had, and I had a hard time bouncing back after that. Even when I reached out to my father for help again, he said the same thing as my brother said before, that I needed to grow up and be an adult. And then the huge final blow was recently the partner who never treated us well in the first place, to say the least, had decided they just couldn't help anymore. They didn't want to be a direct part of our lives anymore. Felt like a whirlwind, and I lost whatever I had in the blink of an eye. I like to think the universe was telling me that I deserved more than what my family told me. I'm sorry. Like the universe was trying to get my attention to not settle for what I was putting up with by removing the things that didn't serve me. My heart broke because I was about to lose everything without stable finances, no time to play for it, and I had a young kid to depend on me, which is so scary, especially with no family to help. I was suddenly a single mom, and then King who told me I deserved better anyway, because we weren't treated the best in the first place. He also told me that we could do this, someone would help because they just have to because we're good people. And he let me know I was his everything, and that I would always take care of him no matter what. My heart broke because I was worried I couldn't, and that a community now I had grown to love, I was worried I'd not be able to support it due to my own circumstances and failure. It is devastating. But hearing those words from Ken gave me the courage to ask for help, even if we didn't have family to fall back on. It wasn't easy because of my past, and I felt ashamed. But Ken looks up to me, and I wanted to prove him my mom's words that there are good people out there. Reaching out to Osborne and friends was literally one of the hardest things I ever had to do. Not because of the lack of them caring, but because I was made to believe I didn't deserve much of anything at all, and it was all my fault. But looking at my son's face, I knew I had to do something for him or just try. Watching you all come together, whether you met me in person, which, by the way, I met so many of you all, the Lady Arcaders at Out of Bounds 2024, and it was absolutely amazing. Virtually, are you just hearing my story? It moved me. I felt undeserving even of all the time y'all put into this because of my past. I've never had this type of love from other people. Ken spent this whole bit saying how much people love us, and that's on the screen that they're talking about. No dollar amount can top the feelings of knowing we are cared about, thought about, appreciated, and loved. That despite my faults, there's a community that still accepts me no matter what. This experience has moved in ways you can't comprehend. You all showed me what true family and friends are, and you proved everything my mom told me, that there are amazing people out there who have good hearts, and what you put out does come back to you. So I thank you all. And thanks you all. My mom thanks you all. And thank you for proving my family wrong. Thanks for helping me to believe again in myself, giving me the strength and support to keep on so I can help my son become a happy, healthy member of society by giving him a chance to your generous donations, time, and love. Osmore Labs, Lil Kasaki, Prime PT, Momo, JPEG, Ophelia, who can absolutely loves Ophelia so much. They met it out of bounds, and he still talks about her to this day. Peeps, Z, Bees, Ivy, Cypher, and Pop No Tarts, that Astrid is scared. Like, we'd be here forever if I would listen to all y'all, but every single one of you, I don't care if you watched for 1 second, thought about it, dreamed about it, whatever. The watchers, the organizers, leads, hosts, the runners, commentators, producers, moderators, tag social media, everyone. You taught me and my son that there are good people out there, and your donating will help me take care of Ken immensely and the things we need so we can keep supporting and uplifting others in the community as we get back on. We will see you all in the next event. And we love you. Love LinearC. Thank you, everyone.